everybody was complaining that a woman was the main character. And just as a follow-up there, it's like, yeah, we have a female as a lead character. Sometimes you appreciate spending 40 hours, 50 hours, 100 hours in this case, hanging out watching a... Oh, yeah, it does. Absolutely. I think Chicago had a closer that was female as well. Go! That's a double!
And that's got extra bases written all over it. Heading for the plate. He'll score.
Tie game! Let's go!
Huge at bat to bring
Hadouken!
Just to cook off, they'll do it again.
Knuckleball.
2 down, nobody on. Battling here as he fouls it away.
That wasn't an easy pitch to hit. It's much easier to do damage.
Swing.
Quick cover. Reversal. Oh my God, the retro ball's got on a roll up. Ontario just couldn't get out of that cover. Super kick! Let go! Third! Let go! Super kick party! Yeah, pay him the money for that.
They seem to be really thin.
There we go! Let's go! Let's go! No doubt! Over the foul pole! Let's go! I'm getting notes here and notes there and notes. Stimulation is the key word here. Lots of stimulation. Yo, and away we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday night edition of the Mike the Ref Twitch stream and our AEW Collision Sidecast. Yes, we're back after 1 week off. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. And this is, just for the record, I do know this is a pre-tape show from Wednesday night in Vegas. I haven't seen any of the spoilers at all yet or anything like that, so until we see anything like that, we're not going to worry about it as we go here. But tonight should be an interesting card regardless. We got our main event, I'm thinking, or our opening match, one or the other, going to be Kyle O'Reilly, Roderick Strong. DLW, good to see you here tonight. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody doing well. Once again, we got the conglomeration colliding as Roddy and Kyle are going to be going at it. We also got Nigel McGuinness in a tough matchup against Shibata, which we haven't seen Shibata in a while, and I can sort of see where we get some issues with some wrestlers not being around for a while, then all of a sudden getting put in these big spots, but I digress. We're also going to get Hitches Cero taking on Brian Cage, which, if this was anywhere outside of Vegas, maybe it would be a full-fledged heel versus heel, but because it is relatively close to the Mexican border, I think Hitches Cero might get a few pops as we go. We'll have to see how that goes. We got the trios titles being defended tonight with the good and the bad and the ugly taking on the Lethal Twist. And we got a lot to talk about that whole situation with the trios titles here and how people have such short memories. And then we also have Mercedes Moné taking on Zeta Steel. That'll be a fun match. Divine Dominion will be there. That'll be a squash match. And if you guys watched Collision, I think it was last week. I wasn't here, but I still saw it. You had Shade Taylor pay off the Hurt Syndicate. What's a short memory? Obviously, we're men in here because women do not have short memories whatsoever. I'm sorry, I had to. The Shade Taylor Promotions actually paid off the Hurt Syndicate for a little protection / anger money. So they got something weird going on with that. So, but I think one of the biggest things we're going to say for tonight, and I'll bring it up a couple times tonight. Congratulations for AEW Collision to officially have lasted longer than WCW Thunder. Tonight will mark the, I believe it's 177th show of Collision, which will eclipse the previous record of WCW Thunder. So for people that want to compare the two shows, that's a big win for the AEW squad once again. Please feel free to send your comments and thank yous and congratulations to one Eric Bischoff as we get into this. But in all seriousness, I do think that tonight's going to be an actually really fun card. We're lining ourselves to get ready for Wembley this week. And then, of course, I got Backbreaker Pro after tonight, which will be a very fun card, too. As we're going to have the singles debut of the Bounty Hunter Jay Williams, as he's going to be taking on Fanboy Brian. And we'll also get Diamond, the new Empress champion, taking on... Looks and Loggers told me they got somebody. They don't know which one it's going to be yet, but they're going to figure it out. Which, really, when the booker's supposed to tell you where you're going and you're saying, no, wait, we'll tell you. It's always a great thing. I love how the camera literally just cut in after the kiss the guy tried to get on camera. So there is no proof that that happened. And in our main event tonight, we're going to have the Retro Balls taking on the Pop Spot Monsters, which they're all... I can see Zodiac already in the chat just bicking about it all over socials that he shouldn't be in this match whatsoever. I never told him this was an eliminator match for the tag titles. But these two started yapping at each other so much, you might as well just let them have it. All right, you can tell that this part here is being pre-recorded, post-recorded. Are they opening with, oh, they're opening with the trios, okay. I guess that's a pretty decent choice. That is so post-recorded. So post-recorded. The swirl is better than the Motor City Machine Guns. You know what? Just for that, I'm going to give them that. They definitely post-record some commentary on tape shows. WWE used to do it when SmackDown was taped. Absolutely. The only thing I hate is the fact that it is it's so blatant. The mixing is so terrible on it. Like, I know, I'm used to it. I used to do it. But you got to make it a little bit more, in terms of the quality, you got to make it somewhat similar. Shouldn't be a reason why you can't match up audio levels. So, as we're getting into this, we got to talk about that promo last Wednesday. And the reason that I think people are really, really forgetful about what happened, what happened just a few years ago. And I'm going to go all the way back to the weeks leading up to the first ever Rampage. Do people forget that the United Center ended up getting sold out for the first ever Rampage in Chicago because they did everything but actually say that the New Day or that CM Punk was going to show up. I already spilled the beans about what I'm going to be talking about here. Right now, Swerve has pretty much done everything except downright say that he's going to have the New Day as his tag team partners or whatever, whichever they're going to be called now. There's Kofi and Austin Creed. I love how Shivani's like, they were called the good, the bad, and the ugly, but I'm not going to call them that anymore. Mainly because Brody's going to keep asking who is the ugly one. I do like the fact that Blake Christian, is just so naturally gifted. He is one of these special guys that they wanted to pick up for the roster. So all they needed was a show in Chicago and Darby to say best in the world and a promo immediately, and everyone lost their minds. Yeah. And hasn't Swerve pretty much done everything to basically indicate that there's a new day in AEW? You could say that because technically that's not an incorrect phrase. You're not talking about the team itself. You're talking about a new day. And Nat, good to see you here tonight. We need Elite Day. Here's something I posted on socials. I hope you guys noticed it, and I'm sort of wearing the shirt to bring it up. I'm doing the trio shirt here. If Swerve got the crowd to do the hoo hoo hoo, it would be actually DLW. The crowd was doing that just before the interaction with Ricochet there, before they did the face to face as he was walking out. Ricochet was talking about, you got nobody here, and people are still like, ooh, 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 ooh. So, played for, oh, say hello to Mr. Hinda for me. Hope he's doing well, and hope he gets a chance of it, possibly maybe pop in and check out Backbreaker later. Because, oh, God. Lee Johnson tried to get out of the way of Brody. That just didn't work. Oh, God. We got... I like the... Send Hinder all the Backbreaker clips on YouTube. Hey, that's cool. So, yeah, we've had 3 shows in 3 days up on the YouTube there just to catch everything back up. So, we'll be back to our regular release schedule coming up. Coming up next week, well, starting with this show here, right? It'll be up on Tuesday. Champs hit. Yeah, I got to get you guys in action here. I think I'm probably going to do that sometime next week. I think Monday night, I'm probably going to be after work. I got a notebook and a couple pens that I'm just literally going through. Oh, yeah, how is the new job is going? Well, good. I was going to ask you how the new job is, but obviously you just said it. You're a little bit ahead of me here, and I'm glad things are working out for you, sir. Just like I hope that Zodiac's AC is working out fine. Bet on yourself a pay. Hey, there you go. Someone also said Sasha come home if they don't know where home is. I would bet it's not the place she turned her championship and walked away from. Here's the thing. Just after he yelled that, I believe Mercedes turned around and she's like, "You idiot." So you make your own hours, Nats? That's always a good thing. So I always appreciate a job when you do that. I just have to get in the 8 hours. That's fair. And that's sort of the way my job is. Like, we are responsible for, in my shoot job, we're responsible for our stores from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. But we have to just make sure that everything gets done, right? So, but that was pre-recorded segments, so the timing was just a coincidence. You know what, DLW? Here's the thing. Was Monday... Actually, that was taped. Sorry, that thing was taped. Going at 8, leaving 4. That's a solid time. That's a solid time there, Nats. That's a good schedule for you. But yeah, you know what? It just worked out perfectly in that case then. I'm not going to argue with it. It's the way to go, right? When it comes to those segments. And yeah, just let the crowd... You don't need Swerve to yell who if everybody else is yelling who and he's not stopping them. That's the thing. I'm going back to a comment you made earlier, DLW, that you're hearing the who from the crowd and he never acknowledged it. I think just the one thing he did do in that point, he laid back and let the who's get out. Because if you're trying to mask something, you could just keep talking and just talk over it. But he let those stay. It's the subtle things that'll let it go. And, well, frankly, anybody that says the New Day have to show up before Wembley doesn't get subtlety. And that's my opinion. Like, if everybody pretty much is assuming that they're going to be there and they do enough hints, I don't think anything's needed. Austin and Kofi could just show up, but I would be happy. Absolutely. But is it going to be a ticket mover, just the assumption that they're going to be there? I think so, to be honest. I do think so. Plus, I also think there are a few other surprises coming in. I would love to see Davina Rose show up. Or hell, maybe Bailey Dubb. If she takes Bailey Dubb, I swear... Literally, just give me a 10-minute interview and you could have the copyright on it. Is that a fair trade-off? I'm not even asking for live. We have a time card online. I just have to mark down all the things and jobs I did in that week and noted comments. My boss. That's fair. That's cool. What is her contract situation last night? We don't know. That's the thing. Like, they haven't officially said what her last day on the job is. I'll tell you point blank, I think we're going to be able to figure that out possibly next week. So, chat, just so you know, WWE's running a house show here in Edmonton next Saturday. I'm just going to be straight up with you. I ain't going. Because, well, I don't enjoy the WWE product right now. I know a lot of my other friends do, but and the possibility of Bayley not being there is probably enough for me, like, to not even bother going, because very telling that Bayley's heading to AEW because she's the only wrestling person outside AEW. No, there's been... I thought there's a couple others that have done it. No, the Rebel acknowledgement I will call you out on immediately. In the post-show to SummerSlam, Kevin Owens actually brought it up literally during the post-show press conference. So, in terms of actually doing the challenge, I'll be honest, I haven't checked enough to really worry about it. So I can't really say if anybody has or hasn't. But yeah, definitely KO talked about her on TV. Absolutely. He also talked about the Bucks on SmackDown on Saturday, so. Not a no, I didn't watch the press conference. After Redemption was the first AEW press conference I've actually missed because I really wasn't interested in it. But yeah, for WWE press conferences, this is like one of the first time. Like the ones they do are okay, but not really. I love how it looks so big, yet it's just going off the top. It would be a new level of petty for WWE to tell its talents not to do charity promo. They've done it before. TK annoys the shit out of me watching him hold that cup 24/7. Which cup? If you're talking about a cup of coffee, I'd be drinking. I'd be holding one nonstop myself. Oh, at the meat. Well, here's the thing. Everybody's got a nervous tick, right? If him holding a cup of coffee keeps him from really waving his arms around and doing crazy things. All right, Brody's dead. And actually, I've been like, when you do your media training, I've done a little bit of it, not a lot. Like, don't get me wrong, for all the uhs I do while I stream, you know that my media training has been minimal. But one thing you do learn as you're going through it is if you're used to being a very hands person, when you're not being a feature, if you need to keep your hands busy, like grab a pen, when you're interviewed by Rich Eisen or whoever, he always holds a cup and doesn't put it down. And that's the thing. Like, if he doesn't know what to do with his hands and he doesn't want to look like a moron. All right, well, Christian's dead. All right, the XD. I think we got a double Gonzo bomb coming. That was way too contrived. Granted, Brody could sit there for an hour with Lee Johnson in his arms like that, but it just felt like it was a little too. They got their win. That's what matters. We're probably going to get. Now the only question is, do we get a three-way tag or do we get a two-way at All In? As I see YouTube's popping it out. Oh God. And the gates of agony come in from the backside. So yeah, now we're going to get this. And do we get Swerve to show up? Oh, and here comes Hangman. And now here comes Lethal. And Ricochet's just in the back. Hey, come take a look at this. You know what pisses me off seeing those tags still on your hats? Like, are you sending it back or what? You know that gold foil on the front of the cap there to when you get it new. Like, that's got to get dirty eventually, right? Blake sneaking in there to get the promo shot. Yeah, I got a feeling we're going to get a four-way ladder match for the tag titles. That to me could probably be what we're going to end up with here. It's the same thing we had last year and the year before. Or wait, did we even have the trios titles defended last year? I'm thinking it might have been the year before was that four-way. That's when the House of Black won it. Is it going to be 4 trios or is it going to be 6 on 6? I think it's going to be 4 trios. I don't think you do 6 on 6. I think you want those titles on the line. So, and those guys will respect each other enough just to. It's honor amongst thieves, right? When it comes to the gold, right? Oh God! Don't start Steiner math, please. That is not anything what he said. He said, I am a machine. So, yeah, once again, Callis, I really wanted to hear what Lexi should have brought up, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, how much fun they're having together. It was better Spanish than Don. Well, you got to remember. Sorry, DLW. One thing you got to remember about Brian Cage is he spent how many years doing Lucha Underground? And frankly, and he also worked CMLL for years, or CMLL AAA for years. Like before he got his opportunity in America, he spent most of his time in Mexico honing his craft. And he was basically the ultimate post. In terms of wrestling terms, it's called a post for a lot of these luchadors. And what I mean by post is a guy that everybody can bounce off of, where, everybody can do their flippy moves. And basically, he doesn't necessarily have to just stand there, but he does have to be in a position where he's able to take all this stuff. And the fact that he is that much bigger, that much stronger, that much, well, I don't want to say faster, but he's got all that experience as well. It's going to give him that opportunity to be one of the top fixtures in a Mexican promotion. Then you move on to a lot of the stuff that he did in Lucha Underground, which if you haven't watched Lucha Underground, I do highly recommend you find some way to find it. I know TK was looking to try to get it, but it all depends on who wants to sell him the version of it. So, but yeah, just as things go through, it just I just want to see Don Callis come out here for this match. Who soy hechicero? Sounds like he's ordering like off a Chinese menu. Oh, extra soy. And that's more a shot on Don Callis than it is the actual language, folks. So please don't take it as, let me just on that one there. So once again, everybody, thank you for stopping by here tonight. Always appreciate you. As we're getting into our second match of the night. 25 minutes in, so that was a pretty good start. 20 minutes right off the bat. I don't think we're going to go overtime tonight, but you never know. If Don Callis is Hechicero, who's the guy in the mask? It could be his. You know how you always have your Latin American replacement there? I like this straight up. We're two of the best athletes around. That is going to be a main event. Like, have you seen those guys? The history between them and ROH, in NXT. So, chat, let me know, who do you think who is Hechicero? If Don Callis is Hechicero, who's the guy in the mask? Mr. Nevada, we're in that right in Vegas. Maybe he's Infinito? We can go with that. Maybe it's Juan Callis underneath. I'm thinking maybe that's the case. Juan Callis. I liked his other theme better still, by the way, chat. No words, just that heavy club vibe as you're coming out. It was very generic, but it was very powerful. But I guess that's some way to get a sponsorship, right? If you get a band to play your music and whatnot, it can go one other way. Either a band offers their music to you, or you have to pay for it, one or the other. Told ya, it's going to be a mixed crowd tonight. Even though Brian Cage is at home. And the fact it's so close to Mexico right now. But to be honest, and I've seen this comment online about Wednesday, this crowd is just, interesting. Some of the best wrestling theme songs are generic. MJF, Hangman, Booker T, and the Hardy Boys. Yeah, I would definitely say that. All you need is one powerful riff to start off, just to distinguish you from everybody else, and everything else is mum's your number, as far as I'm concerned. Like, I know we heard a lot about not being able to understand anybody, like who's coming out based on the WWE themes lately, outside of, your standard guys. But I find that the biggest difference is you can have those generic sounds, but they got to be different generic sounds. Like, look at those people you just listed. You have MJF with auto-tune. You have Hangman with country. You got Booker T with rap. And you got Hardy Boys with rock. So for me, that's like... You can have a very generic song, but make sure that it's distinguishable to you. And that's what I really worry about when it comes to a lot of these themes that are come out. Make sure that they are different from everybody else. Like, it's funny, if you hear classical music, now you got 3 people to think of. 2 of them actually get on TV. It used to be Ric Flair was the classic music altogether, but now it's either Gunther, Ilya Dragunov, or Claudio. So yeah, they're going to Baltimore this week, and then they'll be in Philadelphia Friday, Saturday, and then they're heading over to England. So Goldberg had stock music as well. Yeah, like DLW, I don't know if you ever seen it. One of my favorite entrances ever actually involves the Goldberg theme, but it doesn't involve Goldberg. There is a wrestler that used to hang around here in AEW a little bit. Like, they were getting him in for, like, I think it was the last time they were at All In. All In Wembley. I don't know if you've heard of Grado before, but if you can, do yourself a favor. Check out Grado Goldberg entrance. Because he actually gets, his entrance music is actually like a prayer. The Madonna song, but it's by the original artist, I do believe. So it basically takes the Goldberg music and basically slowly mixes it over into basically into a Madonna song. To me, it was one of the best ever entrances you could ever see. And that's in ICW, which, if you are familiar with Joe Hendry, and that's where he got his start. ICW is where they started. A lot of them got involved in What Culture Pro Wrestling at that point, when it was still in existence. Man, that was such an awesome promotion when you got a chance to use it. That's back when YouTube actually paid something to a lot of their promotions. So you could actually use your YouTube revenue to cover expenses for shows and whatnot based on the number of views you get. But yeah, in terms of a great theme, like, and chat, feel free to throw any kind of themes that you really enjoy in here. Because we definitely, one of these times we might just have to sit back and just talk about some great themes and just the keys to a great theme and whatnot. I have been looking to do a little bit more of just straight YouTube content for the wrestling channel here. I keep saying that, but work just keeps catching up to me here all the time. So hopefully I can get that straightened out. And I know I'm doing a little podcast recording this week for a friend of the show, Raging Demons. So, yeah, just like I said, I'd like to get a few more things out. I'd like the comments I have about AEW fans just not remembering the little details and the fact that all the talk that they're doing is sort of helping out Kofi and Creed that much more if they're going to show up. The only problem is with something like that, the payoff has to happen. You do not want to have a Rey Mysterio number 30 entrance like they did in 2015 with the whole everybody wanted Daniel Bryan and Roman Reigns ended up winning. Well, nobody gives two shits what Knox has to say. We shall know that already. That is a beautiful DDT right there. KJ ain't hooking no leg. He don't need to hook no leg. He wants a 5 count. You think with tariffs now, these guys should be getting pinned to 4 instead of 5? I would love to do a certain match type where it's cumulative counts throughout the match. Like, say you got to get to the count of 30. And it's like for every cover, you get a point. Like for every count that your shoulders are down. Even if you do it to 10, you can book it right so you can have it down to 10 and this crowd's the Hitchhiker is trying to get this crowd to fire up, and they just do not want to carry her. I would love to do something like that, where literally you just count the number of counts. Even if it, like I said, do it to a 10. You can be smart about it and just have. Oh God, why are you bringing up the meat slapping meat here? This crowd doesn't sound awesome. It's trying to cheer that, but oh, look at that shot to the jaw. Trying to go for that drill claw and nobody home. I like the fact that Excalibur's just pipe it in when Shivani doesn't remember a move. Now remember, on most nights you will not have. Holy shit! I called it. Just watch Grado's Goldberg entrance. That crowd makes it work because he's over in ICW. The main thing I noticed, the ICW ring is tiny and Grado looks like a giant in there. Yeah, absolutely. But just that transition, you know how he comes out and the music just starts moving along with it? It just, I loved it. And yeah, you do. The crowd does have a lot to do with it, but you also need to remember the crowd needs a reason to cheer. That's a big thing. The day is good. Long day of work as always, but you know that's typical Saturday for me. Cage saying he grabbed the ropes. My biggest fear in life right now for Darby is to actually watch him die on screen. Like, I do not want another Owen Hart situation on my hands. Thank you very much. And it just feels like Darby is just the leading candidate for that. Crowd were chanting his name, so they knew what was going on. It was a great mashup of the songs, which made it work well. Yeah, absolutely. Like, every piece of that to me was just an absolute fantastic entrance. Like, and those are the things I like to, because for people that don't know, my 1 year in college, I actually got to DJ for like an hour a week. Basically, when I work with the sports teams that I was with, we'd end up going to the club, and I'd have to stay to the end regardless, because I'm basically babysitting a bunch of athletes, and the DJ would always want to scope out an hour early. So I'm like, well, I'm game. I'll try this out. It's not like everybody's too sober to care what I'm doing. So I got to learn a little bit about mixing, not a lot, but got to have some fun time doing that. And I've always been a fan of those mashups, right? The ones that just flow so well together. So that's why that one just comes to my mind perfectly here. I don't even know what to consider what's on Darby's mind right now, because yeah, he's a little bit cuckoo, cuckoo, cuckoo. But yeah, Logan, things are going good overall. I hope everything's going good for you. But yeah, I would have to. The glass spot that Darby did was very well. The amount of controversy that came out of that spot. It also didn't help that, 9 months earlier, that's essentially the spot that got CM Punk fired from AEW. When Jack Perry put Hook through the glass windshield of a vehicle, then Perry went up to Punk, said, yeah, it's real glass, deal with it. One of my favorite school projects, make a mashup of 2 songs. It was really 3 when I made intros blend perfectly. Yeah, like when you can find a good song that you can remake and readjust and get that beat that it just flows. And the one thing I saw when, like from DJing, what you do, yes, I know you're focused on what you're doing, but at the same time, just getting that aura from the crowd. Like when you have a really intense crowd that's really into dancing and you hit one of those mixes, one of those transitions that everybody, you just feel that rush just come into you. Yes, I know this just looks horrible, but I digress. You get that blend that just comes into you and just, you feel that adrenaline and it's just beautiful. And it just really invigorates you and allows you to just keep going, keep pushing. So, but yeah, like when you're dealing with, and that's why, being a referee as long as I have, it's sort of the same feel too, right? Like, one of the keys I always found as a referee, and I know we're getting into vibes and feels and whatnot, and I understand there's a certain part about writing the law, like following the law to the way it's supposed to be, the laws of the game, as they say, no matter what sport you're doing. But there is also a little bit of feeling that you have to have in a game. Like when you have 2 teams that really are pushing each other and there's nothing really, there might be a couple of illegal things, but nothing too egregious out of the way. Sometimes you got to learn how to throw your whistle in your pocket and just let them figure it out a bit. Let them go. Oh, God, we got some hippies here. I'll go into the list here in just a sec, DLW. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. These guys are dead. Because you know who they're facing, right? Yeah, no. You know who these four are going to be facing? Shane Taylor, Lee Moriarty, Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley. Those guys are dead. Oh, shit. Here we go. Everyone stand at attention. Yeah, I know. Bow down, but still, you know. They already have the Already in the Ring wrestlers ready to go for this. So what sports have I refereed? I refereed volleyball for the better part of 20 years. Soccer for about 15. Basketball for about 5. Slow pitch for 1. By the way, folks. Slow pitch for 1. So, yeah, basically I made most of my income through yeah, you two are dead. You two are dead. D-E-D dead. But yeah, I've refereed many sports. I've always been told I should have pushed myself to a higher level. There's a certain level when sports goes from fun to competitive, and then from competitive to crazy. I was able to do the competitive rather comfortably, but when they want to start getting me into the crazy parts there, where it's not about being competitive, it's about win at all costs. To me, that's when I'm just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Linesman for soccer once was a lot more difficult. Yeah, absolutely it is. Like always having to stick with the second last man, trying to get a vibe with the first referee in terms of fouls. I know when I was a linesman, I'd prefer to take the junior spot. Because typically the junior spot, you don't have to make as many calls for him or her. And it's funny because I would usually do more fourth official stuff at the higher levels because I did have that mind behind it, and I also was able to talk to. Basically, I was able to talk to the coaches and sort of understand where they're going. A lot of people forgot about the psychological part of refereeing, not just the X's and O's, right? Oh, God, these two. And Megan decided death was an option. So, just for the record, folks, I have ordered my jersey. The Divine Dominion do have their hockey jerseys now available on Shop AEW. So I have ordered mine. I hope to have it here for All In. Because we'll probably be doing multiple outfit changes during the show. Oh, God. Now, are you going to sandbag this time, or are you actually going to do this? No, there you go. That's better. The first time they were doing that, just before the whole schmaz, they actually ended up having a... it looked like she was sandbagging a little bit there. These two look so damn dominant. Oh, and here they come. Not too often do you have the faces going after the heels. Why don't you roll? Oh, never mind. Wait a second. Could we make this a stipulation match now? And Megan didn't even bother for the title. Lena wanted to make sure she got her title back. Should be a pub fight match. Hey, I wouldn't mind that. But we have a Falls Count Anywhere match already. We're probably going to get a ladder match for the trios titles. And here comes Mercedes to ruin the fun. Oh, and that. Oh, God. Zeta's too busy smiling. Oh, shit. Here we go. This will be fun. I don't know how long it'll be, though. We got an ad break coming up for you non-subscribers. Sorry. Woke up in Vegas once. It was scary. Oh, better yet, I'll do this. Love how Tony and Paul are up celebrating, and Excalibur has been beaten up too many times by Nigel on the mic. All right. Seems like this whole crowd is excited for Shibata, too. Hey, we got a Hook and Bowen sighting. What a shock. Something I don't think we ever see these days. Nigel. I wonder if this is actually an AEW chant or a Nigel chant or what it is. You got to admit, these two probably do have a lot of respect for each other. Like, Nigel for so many years was told he was done. He wasn't going to be able to work. And then on top of that, like this match seems impossible. Yeah, like they've had it before, I think once. But yeah, this match, if you were if you were around 5 years ago, like when Nigel was in Impact, he was literally told he was not allowed to wrestle ever again. Like, I think originally it was a case of hepatitis, they said originally, but then Nigel just turned around and said, well, Impact wasn't even paying me enough to get out there to the shows. Then Nigel came back into WWE working the UK brand and did an absolutely fantastic job, which essentially was half the reason why he ended up on the microphone here in AEW. And just getting help from, I don't want to say world class, but a set of doctors and medical staff that actually want to work to help get you better rather than worrying about insurance more than anything else. Like, don't get me wrong, they got to worry about insurance, but they're a lot more forgiving and they're a lot more understanding. Just as the wrestlers have to be a little bit more understanding about it. Like, if you look at Adam Copeland as well as Bryan Danielson, those are the two biggest examples that we know of. Christian for another one. Hats off to the guy in the crowd who just yelled wrestling. That's something I would do at a show like this right now. Just to be a dick. Just like Nigel was just a dick to Shibata. Oh, and here comes Shibata back. Shibata's supposed to be playing the heel in this match. Once Bryan was able to work his way back, it seemed like career-ending injuries are a thing of the past. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, and that's the biggest problem you see between different people. I love Nigel. You hear him in the back. Oh, fuck, oh, fuck, oh, fuck. And again, a second one into the buckle. But there's a lot. Well, here's the big thing, and this is something that even WWE needs to take into consideration now. While insurance and the wrestler's health, well, sorry, let me correct myself. The wrestler's health needs to be number one. However, you cannot necessarily hold things back for a wrestler now just because your insurance says that you will not let them work. Because eventually they'll just get out of their contract and go somewhere where they can work. And the biggest difference I find with a company like an AEW or an MLW even. By the way, for those watching live here, some people watch the VODs. Congratulations to Gallows and Anderson, who won the MLW tag titles tonight on their show. Of course, Baron Corbin was in attendance to... I don't think he was actually wrestling, but he was in attendance in the corner of the skyscrapers, the new skyscrapers. So, yeah, that was there. But, yeah, you want to talk about options now. And the fact that these promotions are honestly going to help wrestlers take care of themselves as well, too. Like, don't get me wrong, like, you're not going to get like a GCW or any of the super indies that are going to be able to pay for full medical for anybody, but they're more than willing to try and help out whatever way they can. And then add in a company like an MLW or a, I don't know if TNA will or not. That's a shot at them for the budget, the way they run it. There's also AEW, of course, and then, like I said, AEW, MLW, even CMLL to a point as well, New Japan, who will actually go out there and try and help you get back, more so to get back to work than to worry about their insurance about it. Because you know your insurance is either going to be high or fuck high. One or the other. It's going to be high or higher. So you might as well just try to maximize your asset the best way you can, right? As we're coming back for the picture once again. God bless Nigel. He was looking like he was going to take a shot to the face there, but all of a sudden just stomps a foot. You got to admit, with things in the Nigel match, you are going to see things slow down quite a bit. Ooh, what do we got here? Holy shit. So, I just literally found out one of our local wrestlers here in Alberta has literally been given a name by WWE. Andy Summers is a wrestler, is a name given to wrestler Zoe Sager here from the straight out of Edmonton here. And it'll be fun to see what happens with her there. Might actually be a reason to watch Evolve now, I guess. But yeah, congratulations to Zoe here. If you guys check out the YouTube channel, I do have some matches involving her in some of her early matches as she started out as a wrestler here in Alberta. Zoe's been one of those that just literally has been a natural talent. Like, you want to talk about a blue chipper, a can't miss. I love how Nigel does the I have to 5 and everybody forgets that it was his line before it was Danielson's, it was Nigel's. Hibbida. Sorry, this just threw me for a loop here. Like, it's been a while since we've gotten some great news like that. But the fact that Zoe's going into the Fed, that's just absolutely awesome. Very happy for her. At least I know where I can expect some more of my views on the YouTube channel to go. But anyway, getting back to this, like, this is a traditional AEW sign here, or traditional match for Nigel, his style. Oh my God, Nigel. He literally put his foot up to absorb the PK. He just lined it up perfectly, that's all. Now we got the ankle lock locked in here. But it looks like it's actually backwards from what the way the grip's supposed to be normally. Never mind, it's Nigel. Oh, look at that. Like, literally, he is turning that one leg. Oh, he's going to turn into a stump puller there. Oh my God, Shibata hit the PK. Nigel kicks out at 2 and straight into the armbar. This is actually very smart on the part of Shibata here. But yeah, even look at Shibata here for. I guess we were talking about Nigel. You got to look at Shibata here. Like, he was pretty much done. Like, he had a broken neck after a German suplex gone wrong in New Japan. But he slowly got to work back. And let's face it, in AEW, he's not getting the busiest schedule in the world. Works when he can, works when he wants to. And when he gets in there, they're putting on some pretty decent matches. Look at Nigel's face. It is literally purple right now. Nigel pulls it out of the... I don't know if Shibata just actually didn't realize that was there. I still feel it's going to be Nigel and Mox, as that's going to be probably Nigel's last match in AEW. Because he's going to lose that stipulation next Friday. Like, if you didn't know, he's taking on Lee Moriarty for the Pure Championship coming up next Friday on Supercard of Honor. He's going to try and bring over the United Empire? All right. I didn't know about that trios match that's being announced. So it's going to be Ospreay and 2... Ospreay plus 2 versus 3 members of the Don Callis family. Which for me, it would be laughable if Proto Shida was on the same team. Because if that's... Or Proto Kata, sorry. I almost think that you bring in Takeshita. Because, well... They do have to start firing up that international title match. Not that you need much in terms of advertising for it. Because let's face it, it's just going to be batshit insane, period. Like, you really can't see it being anything else but, right? So... But yeah, we're getting a pretty solid card. Like, I didn't realize on Wednesday that we're actually up to 8 matches already for All In. So the card's almost filled out. Like, we're probably looking at a women's gauntlet that they just haven't announced yet. We have the women's tag already set up. We have the we're doing the trios next week, or sorry, the TBS next week instead of at All In. And once again, I'm just not worried about that. The TBS title does not need to be on a pay-per-view. The TNT title does not need to be on a pay-per-view. people need to remember a TV title is meant for TV. We have enough damn titles around here. Like, essentially, when they created a TV title originally, it was to make up for the fact that the world champion wasn't going to be around for weeks on end. So the TV title sort of took the place, and you would have your secondary title take that primary spot. And with AEW, it isn't like they're short on titles regardless, right? So the only problem with dealing with what's there versus what's going on now is the pay-per-view schedule. Like, back when you were talking about multiple titles and all the schmozzles of that, you had 4 or 5 months between pay-per-views. Usually 3 to 4. Like most places would do 4 a year. And if you're going to do 4 a year, then you can have 2 or 3 weeks when your world champion isn't around. You can have a month. That way you can have your tag titles and your intercontinentals or US or your TV title, whatever way you would call them, get a little bit more shine, as they say. But now that every pay-per-view is a month, you really can't keep the world champ off air at all. And I think that's probably more of the complaint that they have about the titles. Like the number of titles, like you can't defend all those titles all the time. And now they're sort of in an opposite of what they used to be. Like before, it used to be just a few titles, so one was always off TV. Now they have too many titles, and not all of them can get on TV. Oh, we're getting an All-Ray in the Ring match for them. I thought they were going to get the Hurt Syndicate and Shane Taylor Promotions out of this. I seriously need that hat some days. I got friends. I actually have friends. It's fine. It's fine. This could be goofy or this could be amazing. I don't know which one it's going to be. All right, Leo's trying. Leo's trying to have some friends. All right, this is going to be a little bit of violence here. He's got a title, so you really should let him hang around. I love how the ring announcer or the commentators have nothing to say about this right now. They're going to spend more time taking off their gear than they're actually going to be in this match here. What in the hell is this? Well, at least the guys managed to get their spot in, right? It's always great when the indie guys are able to get at least one of the things they're known for in. All right, Casino Gauntlet match. I guess this is where you announce it because you're probably going to get most of the Rascals involved in it. Leo Rush, I would assume, would be a part of it. And actually, Leo Rush has a very big match coming up this Friday. A match without honor for the Ring of Honor TV title against Action Andretti, his former tag partner. If you aren't familiar with Ring of Honor, the matches without honor are basically your no DQ matches. Basically, that's the equivalent of what they're doing there. So, in the meantime, Leo's having breakfast over in the corner. Now he's eating. Oh, God. Oh, they are looking interesting together, to say the least. Makes me wonder if we're going to get Shane Taylor and the Hurt Syndicate out before we get, right after we get done this match. Hey, Brian, how you doing tonight? Good to see you here tonight, sir. And if you didn't know, check it out on socials. You are actually going to be in our opening contest on BPW this week. So, as you're going to be taking on a brand newcomer to the company. And Leo just choked out, starting on the right foot. Absolutely. The bounty hunter, Jay Williams, wanted an opponent. I wanted somebody strong for him in the first match, and I couldn't think of anybody better. That and the fact I got tired of getting beaten up by everybody in their first match. And Homer, good to see you too. Should be at Dynamite on the 2nd. Oh, when it's down in Texas there? That's going to be the first Dynamite after All In, so you're going to get all the juicy stuff there. All the fallout. It should be a fun show. Yeah, we got some local news here. If you guys popped in here late, there was a post that came out today about Andy Summers being registered by WWE for a wrestler. We actually found out it is actually a name for one of our local competitors here in who most recently in Love Pro Wrestling. Her name is Zoe Sager. Andy Summers, I do believe, is the actual. Let me just double check here. Yeah, Andy Summers. Andy with an I. And we just turned into, we hurt people. We hurt people. And Leo's doing the, no, we go this way. We get out of here. Myron's staring him down right now as they're leaving. I don't know if anybody else picked that up in the back there. I love they want to get a picture of the woman doing the we hurt people. And the guy right next to him is like, all big muscled up. Like, I'm looking at that and I'm like, you're about to get your ass kicked, buddy. Smarten up. I love any Leo Rush, Bobby Lashley interaction. That will be amazing. Like, every time those two get together, just seems like gold. So who are these guys going to be taking on? These guys literally got ushered in through the side door. These four will be dead in a matter of moments here. I don't know if this match will be done. This match should be done by the end of the ad break, which is coming up in about a minute and a half here, folks. If you're watching over here on the old on the Twitch side. Well, Shelton and Bobby were paid to finish these guys. Like, they were paid to beat people up for them. Oh, so they're actually going to get an interview with those guys, too. Like, I'm assuming that interview will be one of those earlier in the day deals. Yeah, this might. Yeah, but. I love how MVP is. MVP is that manager I cannot stand when I'm a cameraman. Standing right in between the ring and the hard cam. We did what you told us. We paid up. We're done. Let's get this damn pin done and move on here. We got a real good match coming up here with Zeta Steel Mercedes. Oh no, this is done. Package pile driver. Honestly, if I'm going to take a package pile driver from anybody, it's going to be somebody with as thick of legs as Shane Taylor. Because there is no way my head's even getting near the canvas. I guess Shane Taylor Promotions didn't realize that money. The infantry's like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. Let's celebrate this win. Quarters. The fuck was that, Paul? Uh-oh, Ciampa. Oh my God, he ripped apart the chair. Old school back again. Let's go. All right, here comes Zeta. And of course, she's going to be wearing blue because Mercedes probably going to be wearing pink as she's getting ready for Wembley. She's got her heart gear going all the time here. I love the fact that Daniels is with Steele. Because, well, Zeta, what? I think she's, 21? 21, 22, somewhere in that range. Needs somebody with a little bit of experience to work with her. Just on the particular, she's got a lot of skills. And if you as you're watching, she definitely does have a bright future amongst her. All right, well, I stand corrected. Oh, there's Noelle Foley. I stand corrected on the pink part, but dark blue versus purple. Oh, goody. The venue's not big enough to have to worry about that. So I'm not, if this was Wembley, I'd be pissed right now. There is no entrance to have here. You got 10 feet of walkway. This crowd just wants to get a CEO chant down. I don't think they really want to cheer with her. Now, here's the hard part. At Wembley, who do you think wins? I think the odds are it's Mercedes going to win at Wembley. Like, my perfect scenario for this whole thing, Mercedes wins at Wembley through a very hard-fought match with Willow. Mercedes holds the title up in the middle of the ring. The pyro goes off. And then all of a sudden, everything stops. And Davina Rose's music kicks in. Hinder! How the hell you doing? Long time no see. Good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed a little Fortniting tonight. That reminds me, I got to get a video edited with one of our other members of Backbreaker here, Quest for Jewels. Him and his team Lamboat ended up an entire 2-hour stream going like perfect on Fortnite. So in quads action. So I want to get that video up. I've been doing okay. Like, we're covering AEW here. We're having a lot of fun. We got the big news today that one of our local wrestlers got a WWE name. So I'm assuming an Evolve talent coming up soon. And honestly, if you guys are going to get an opportunity to see Zoe Sager, a.k.a. Andy Summers, come up, you are in for a treat. I will say that the best match I've seen with her, it's actually my favorite match all time that I've seen live. It was her first match that she had in LPW against one Gigi Ray. If you know Gigi Ray, she was working out of Dallas. At a time, she was working with Booker T's promotion for a while. She was trained up here in Edmonton. And Gigi, honestly, is completely the reason why I don't critique who I say wrestlers will never make it. Because I thought she wasn't going to get it. But she got it, and she got it good. And right now, I think personally, Gigi might be one of those top wrestlers that just hasn't been signed yet. Whether it be, like, she's had a few shots over here on AEW, a few extra spots. She's worked MLW, I do believe. I do believe she's worked a little bit of WWE, actually. But yeah, it's nice here for Mercedes to get out here and get a match in against Zeta. Sort of showcasing a lot of the younger talent they do have on the AEW roster. And yes, we did get 2 matches on a 2 consecutive shows here for AEW. So in a 4-hour stretch, they actually had 4 women's matches. I'd gather the women and children and hide somewhere because this might be the end of the world at this point. For that much at a live taping, so it really does suck that the time got crunched for both women's matches on Wednesday. Honestly, it was a tough week for women's wrestling in general this week. If you notice, for everything that got cut down during SmackDown yesterday. Oh, the Jeff Hardy dance. Attaboy. Love you're enjoying those Nick emotes there, Sa. But, yeah, just eventually women's wrestling is going to get the respect it deserves. It's undeniable. I just have this weird feeling that they're going to save their first ever main event for the women for Bailey Dubb versus Mercedes. I got that weird feeling. Could you imagine if they could do that, if Davina Rose or whatever she wants to be called coming back out, if they would announce that for All Out in Chicago, I don't know if I could get a better birthday gift than that. Because you know those two are going to absolutely tear the fucking house down. And that could be a possibility. That would be a main event. And I get it. As soon as that gets announced, the trolls are going to show up. Yeah, my birthday's on All Out for this year. I just found that out a couple weeks ago. We're actually going to be having a very big weekend that week. Because Saturday, of course, is going to be All Out. And I'll probably be on a little extra for the birthday. And then the day after, we're actually going to have our next PLE for Backbreaker Pro Wrestling. It is going to be a fundraiser for the local children's hospital here. And a tribute show to one of the local commentators in the community / radio hosts. A decent friend to everyone. And Diesel Power is a absolute... It's going to be a lot of barn burning fun, as we call it. But yeah, I'm going to have more details about that coming up. Like, I'm basically waiting till after all... Like, we're about to have... I'm about to formally announce a couple Wednesday nights we're going to have like a Clash of Champions set up. And then, then we'll start getting into Diesel Power a little bit more. I'm actually surprised that they haven't got that sold out already in Glasgow, but also they are getting a lot of bigger building for that, so that makes sense. 2 weeks, folks. 2 weeks to Wembley. I am so damn excited for that. Zeta getting a shot here. And here's the thing. Once again, you're into that category of, are you going to be able to make your opponent look like they could actually win here? And Mercedes is actually allowing that to happen a little bit here. Oh yeah, you're done. Aren't fish hooks illegal? Is it? Aren't fish hooks illegal? Oh, and Daniels gets hit with a title. All right, Willow's coming. Willow's got to come for a save. Zeta, close your eyes. Don't make it look like you're... She's making her smile. Paul's like, you had to get me out. Don't... No, she's bailing out. As always. Oh, Nelly. I love that. I love that comment. Collision's been fun tonight. Nigel McGuinness moving on in the Continental Cup, along with Hitchicero. Willow literally just turned around and I'm still smiling, bitch. Ooh. I love this. This is Mox to a T. Swerve. I think we might get this next week. Ooh. Wow. All right. I love the reference. Careful bringing a knife to a sword fight. That is awesome right there. Yeah, tonight's been fun so far. Like, I don't want to miss anything, so let me pull up the graphics so I can make sure I don't miss anything as we went through this here. Yeah, McGuinness beat Shibata. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly defeated the Twisted Swirl for the trios titles. We just had Monet defeats Zeta Steel. The Divine Dominion won their Already in the Ring match. Shane Taylor Promotions paid the Hurt Syndicate to beat up on people. They did. However, Shane Taylor Promotions didn't figure out what the rate was, and the rate ran out halfway through the match. So Shane Taylor ended up winning the match, but the fact that they spent all their money on a jobber match, or an Already in the Ring match, as we call it around here, that's always a fun way to do it. We also had Leo Rush teaming up with the Rascals. That was a lot of comedy excellence right there. And now at this point, I think we are getting to our main event, so I do have to give you a bit of a rundown of what we're going to be doing here on the channel. Make sure you stop by after, exclusively on Twitch tonight. We are having Backbreaker Pro Madness, episode 13, as we are going to have the debuting Bounty Hunter Jay Williams taking on Fanboy Brian. We're also going to get the new Empress champion, Diamond, taking on one half of Lux and Loggers. I'm not 100% sure which one's going to be yet. We'll have to see. And in our main event tonight, we are going to have the Retro Balls taking on the Pop Spot Monsters. Two teams that absolutely keep jack and jawing at each other in the chat every time I see them here. I said, fuck it, let's get them in the ring. Let's deal with this. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow, plans to be here hopefully tomorrow night for a little MLB The Show. We went through spring training with Michelle Teref in her first year with the Yankees. Hopefully we can do okay there. No stream Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll be back with AEW Dynamite as well as BPW Evolution after Dynamite. It's been a blast. We also got Halo on Thursdays currently right now. Halo Campaign Evolved. So once again, everybody, if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're watching over on Twitch, make sure you hit the follow button if you haven't already. If you really like what you see here, consider subscribing. Everything that you put into the channel goes back out into making this show just a little bit better. But even if you don't want to do that, it is always appreciated for you to be in here. Because without you guys and girls and aliens, I'm sure we get a few aliens in here once in a while. For some of the comments I get in here, we do have aliens that show up once in a while. It's always appreciated having you all here, so. And now we're just getting a preview of the main event at the pay-per-view. I don't know if Nats is an alien. He might be weird sometimes, but I wouldn't call him an alien. There really isn't much that these guys need to do for this match. Folks, just for the record, I just want to show this one more time. Wow. Oh, they used the O word. Yeah. Oh, don't say father around Christian. Who's your daddy? I still say FTR gets involved in this somehow. It just makes so much sense to get FTR involved in this. Just because there's so much history between those two teams and FTR. All right, main event time, folks. Kyle O'Reilly, Roddy Strong. This really could go either way. But once again, the other breaking news that we got during the show here, WWE has signed local wrestler, now known as Andy Summers, formerly known as Zoe Sager. All right, Hinder, you have yourself a great night here. Hope you're doing well, and keep yourself in good shapes here. I know you don't have Nick around to keep you going. I wish him all the best as well. So, if you always pop by, we're always free for you. Appreciate you, Hinder. Always great seeing you. But yeah, this match here, these two know each other way too well. Like, I don't know how vicious this is going to get. Roddy hasn't worked a singles match in such a long time, they forgot that the spotlight's supposed to be on him only at that point. So, oh, here we go. Like these two, like this is definitely going to be a feel-good or a tight feel moment here to start off. And of course, the crowd's already starting with the both these guys chant. See, this is what I was talking about the dubbing in, right? Yeah, so they got to have 2 quarterfinals on Wednesday, 2 on, oh, they're doing on Monday. Okay. Are they just going to play off that Nigel can't continue? If it's either that or he gets the bye until he gets to work on Collision on Saturday, one or the other. I would assume that's what they're going to probably play with the injury bug and that. I would think Hitchesero might be the guy that you put him in there with. Like, as I'm going through it and thinking about the roster that's going to be going, you don't want to put Claudio there, Mox there. Orange, just not the right type of match with those two. One of these two I don't think would work that well either. I've got to think about this now. Mox, Claudio, Hitchesero, O'Reilly, Strong. Orange. Yeah, basically as we're going through this, like, I would think Hitchesero might be the most likely setup that they're going to do for that quarterfinal for Nigel if that's the case. Unless they determine that they're going to be a replacement for him. And the fact that they had to pre-record that sort of tells me that this might have happened after the fact. But you also got to remember, Nigel's got a match. And here's the story, too. And this is something you can build up to. Nigel has a match this Friday against Lee Moriarty for Ring of Honor. Basically, the stipulation is if he doesn't win the Pure Championship off Lee Moriarty this Friday at Death Before Dishonor, he will not wrestle in Ring of Honor again. Respectfully, I don't mind if either of these guys win. If I have a personal choice, I'm going with I want to go with O'Reilly, just because he did have that huge push coming against Moxley until he had that injury that basically put him on the sideline for a year, which I think they probably would have had him in a higher up position now already. But unfortunately, it's like a pot of boiling water when it comes to bringing guys up. You know, once you can bring them up to a certain level and you can take them over the top, but if they're not ready to go because of an injury or something, you just can't assume that they're going to be at this level coming back. You got to assume they're going to be a couple levels down and build them back up again. And this very well could be the kind of match that would move things up a level. Like, realistically, having Moxley retain the title at All In is the smart pick about what's going on. But sentimentally, I'd like to see Mox lose the title at All In just to prove that somebody is that strong to come back to it. But all bets are off if Nigel's the one who gets to the final. I think we're all pretty confident Nigel's not winning the Continental Championship at Wembley. They'll give him a hell of a match, but I don't think you're going to be in a position there where they're actually going to show anything like that. So, but yeah, between these two guys, like, literally, this is, if you're building up a draw of 16 people, this is your 8-9 game. Like, the two people that are in the absolute saw-offs against each other, if you were doing a formal bracket, I mean. So I do appreciate the fact that they are doing a draw early in the week. So, hey, Boris, how you doing tonight? Getting ready for Celebrity Deathmatch tonight? Hope things are going well. By the way, did you hear the? Well, I'm assuming you already know because you work for LPW. The news about Zoe there that just broke on the web. Just ready to go. Yeah, you're covering Celebrity Deathmatch tonight, from what I remember. So, yeah, Andy Summers. Yeah, I'm assuming that you guys there knew about it for a while, but yeah, it just started coming out tonight, and really happy for her. I really am. Like, to this day, I still will say this, and I mentioned it earlier in the show here. Zoe and Gigi won from LPW the first time they met each other is still my favorite ever match that I've ever seen live. And to this day, that hasn't changed. So now you get the privilege of saying that you got to call another person. I know you've called a lot of them that got called up, but now you get to say that you got one of the newest ones. All right, you take care. Enjoy Celebrity Deathmatch today, sir. Yeah, Big Bad Boris having his stream while coming up here at the top of the hour. He's going over the old Celebrity Deathmatch videos with a lot of the common wrestlers that come through here. So, Big Bad Boris, real good guy. Oh, so they're bringing Kira and Hanare for the take on the Don Callis. Okay. So Calvin Newman's not being involved in this. That makes a lot of sense. El Clone, Davis and Doyle versus the Elite. Well, that'll be a murder. I'm just glad they didn't forget about Davis and O'Doyle. And then that four-way match, which, with all due respect, Maya World, please lose the championship next week. Even if you have to be involved in a rematch at Wembley. She has picked it up, but is she going to be able to pick it up against higher level competitors? That's the thing. Reversal. Hammerlock guillotine. Now into a triangle. Third submission, and now Roddy's out of the ring. Once again, I do think that this is probably going to go just to the top of the hour. Being a tape show, I don't expect them to go that much over, but last time I said that, they went 20 minutes over. Sorry, 10 minutes over. This crowd is just done. I'm sorry, but there's like 4 or 5 guys chanting, and that's about it. Okay, that's gotta suck. Backbreaker on the top turnbuckle. But Roddy's not having a good time walking. Kyle's just not having a good time, period. Both guys just looking to drop bombs right now. And that's a shot. Brain Buster! One of my favorite calls, period. Now, what is he trying to do at this point? Oh, that's what he's trying to. He's trying to. He used the legs to vice grip the hand. Okay, that's smart. He basically put his leg into basically twisting up to try to, sort of like a vice grip, you know, like a press when you're trying to press something apart. You got that fulcrum in the middle, and it allows you a lot easier to break things apart. God, these guys are unloading shots at each other. And you expect to get at least 3 or 4 of these as we go here, so. Just a quick 2 count there. You can imagine how many times these guys have practiced with each other. How many matches these guys have done together, whether it's behind the scenes or in front of the curtain. Like, this is a long-term partnership, rivalry, whatever way you want to call it. Try to go for a half and half into a German. Going for a high, oh God. These guys are really going at it like this in the last minute. Small package out of nowhere. Once again, multiple out of the Lost in the Woods. This might be a Austin Creed tribute show tonight. And a match like this, you'd want to have something like that. Like, you're not going to get these guys winning on some super move to each other. They're not going to murder each other. But they're going to finish things off the way they like. It's going to be a technical pin that wins it. And they're going to be best friends after. Oh. Wait for it. Wait for it. I'm thinking there's got to be nothing there. So there's your 8. So Jay White's the 8th one. I wonder how you set these up. Oh, looks like we're going to get Kyle in orange. Come on, let's get out of here. Yeah. This crowd doesn't deserve us talking to each other here right now. Yeah. I love how Roddy just said, nope, we ain't having this going on right now. So all in all, fine episode. Once again, it was taped, so production wise, there were a few, like, once again, I'm nitpicking as always. But a great show nonetheless. Like, we had a lot of positive things come down on it. We had a lot of the 3 quarterfinals we got out of the Continental Cup. We got Hichisero. We got Nigel McGuinness, who apparently is injured. And then Kyle O'Reilly there at the end. Like, realistically, any one of those 3 could get to the final. I still say if everybody's not injured, we're going to get Mox and Nigel at Wembley. I would assume that would be it. And if Nigel wins that, that's the big sentimental go away. He'll win it, lose it real quick, and then be there. But absolutely fantastic episode tonight. The Divine Dominion absolutely destroying, as always. 2 4-way matches. The fact that the Hurt Syndicate has showed that their price is a lot higher than what Shane Taylor Promotions thought it was going to be. Now, that was a pretty funny moment during the night there. And it also shows that it might just be a one-time thing just to keep Benjamin and Bobby Lashley there. Yeah, Hinder stopped in earlier just to say hello. I assume you guys were chatting and whatnot. So, but with that being said, I think that's going to wrap up this part of the show. So for those on Twitch, hang on for a sec. For those on YouTube, we are going to be wrapping up on that side because we do record directly for our gaming channel, Backbreaker_gaming. We're recording BPW Madness, our eFed that seems to be picking up a ton of momentum here as we go along here. So do yourself a favor, twitch.tv/MikeTheRef. You can get into the conversation over there. Absolutely free to sign up and a whole lot of fun. So with that being said, folks, thank you for checking things out. And if you are watching on YouTube and you're heading out for the night, make sure you hit the subscribe and check out a lot of the other matches on the channel, including, as we mentioned before, and good to see you tonight, Zodiac, popping in at the absolute perfect time. We did announce earlier tonight the breaking news that local wrestler Zoe Sager has been given a name by WWE in the form of Andy Sanders. So, Andy Summers, sorry. She will be, it appears she's probably going to be heading to Evolve at this point, if that's the name that's been given to her. So, and
I'm back.
$52 months. Thank me. Well, I will thank you very much. Very well appreciated. Always great having you here, Zodiac, even when you're going nuts on the socials today, going after Andre C and AWS. I almost think that you're probably going to start throwing out some promos here that I'm going to have to bring on the show here. So, yeah, that's one little thing we do different here, folks. If any of the wrestlers want to do a live action promo, I will definitely add it into the show for them. But yeah, for those watching on YouTube, that's the advantages of coming to watch Backbreaker Wrestling over on Twitch here. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap things up there, and we will be back Wednesday with AEW Dynamite and apparently Trios Hell, as we're getting at least 2 Trios matches and probably setting up a 4-way Trios match at the same time. So, with that being said, thank everybody for popping in, and we will see y'all here next time. Take care.